be the YouTube. If we're creating it on the platform and it never escapes, then it's like right there.
All right, thank you, Brandon. How about that? All right. Up next, we're going to hear from my friend Manuela, and she's going to tell us about Alpha. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Are you nervous?
It's nice to be the only woman in the room.
Take it away.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm Manu, and imagine if you could have airline points for everything in your life. From the water that you drink to the products that you purchase sustainably, obviously. And that's exactly what we do. We provide an infrastructure for brands to know who their biggest fans are and to immediately reward them. But there's a massive disconnect right now in the market. Simply look at sports loyalty plans. 66% of sports fans see no value whatsoever in their existing programs. That's a big number. And that's mostly due to the fact that fans want to be collaborators, not spectators. But due to a restriction in personalization, that right now is very hard to deliver. Until us. Communities are born when people and passion interact in any given platform, be it real or virtual. That's what we believe in, and that's what we can provide by our 3-bucket formula of points, things, and places. Super simple. That has yielded year to date in its first year of operation over $300,000 in SaaS revenue. So just with our current client pipeline, we're going to hit over $1 million by the end of the year. And if I show you who we're talking to, you'll see that it's a little more skewed to the upside. On the points front, this is an example of a product that we built for one of our clients, Apewater. So we built a point system called Bananas. A banana a day keeps a doctor away. Once again, simple for the average person. And the idea here is to fully gamify the experience of sustainable consumption. So every time you drink a can of Ape water, you can scan a QR code on the side, claim a banana. They'll donate 5 cents to clean water programs, and you get to cancel a plastic single-use bottle. And you can track everything in your very simple-to-use dashboard. Things. This is an example of a product that we're building for a major European soccer team that is pairing the nostalgia of collecting cards to fantasy football. So we can actually connect the amount of points that these cards are worth to the player performance during the season. And these cards can be earned by attending games. They can be purchased as random packs at the beginning of the season, so extra monetization for the team itself. Or they can be earned from home through trivia challenges. Unparalleled data for every interaction. Places. Places can be used as geofenced experiences in order to drive traffic to a location. Right now, we have a scavenger hunt up in the entire city of LA for Pride. And we're driving traffic to minority-owned businesses. Every time you walk into a minority-owned business, you enter the geofence. You can scan a QR code or go through the map, claim a character. You'll see they're all women. It's not a joke. And you can immediately unlock perks in person, immediate gratification. You walk into Blue Bottle, for example, let's say that's a participating location, grab a character, get a free coffee. Easy. And you can attach phygital merch as wearable VIP cards. With NFCs attached to them, connected back to the NFT, you have the full user data of that person. It can grant access to special locations in stadiums. We can use heat map analysis in conferences. We've done it before. The data speaks for itself. We did a little test at NFT NYC, and we 4x the impressions on the number of attendees. We had people coming back 6 times to our wallets, and they were just searching for QR codes in the Javits Center. This isn't anything. They had a tiny little prize at the end, but people want that instant gratification. And our partner, our back-end partner, Lightlink, was behind the AO Art Ball that won the Cannes Lion for the best use of tech in sports. And what the AO Art Ball did, and what we're thinking of in terms of dynamic interactions, is you own different parts of the court. So if the ball hit on a part of the court that you owned, you immediately get a payoff. So, once again, instant gratification. We have a lot of friends. We're developing a lot of interesting things. We can't go into all of them, but the sky really is the limit. And even though I only have 3 minutes, my virtual self has a very important message for all of you. And we did use some generative AI paired with a very talented artist that's here today to expand the message. But we address the issue of IP and ownership, since this is already on chain and verified with the creator. That's it. Scan, guys. Come on. It's an important message.
You know, when you're talking to Ape Water or the Soccer Club or Sacramento Kings, what's the hard part of that conversation? What's the biggest challenge? Is it coming up with some of these utility scenarios? Is it something else?
It's usually about the fact there may be some confusion around just being in Web3, and you'll see that in our presentation we had no mention of NFTs or blockchain anywhere. So once you cross that hurdle and you show them the data and you show them what they can actually do, the product speaks for itself.
Right, you're taking all the hard stuff and trying to make it simple.
Exactly. We don't have any connection with MetaMask or anything. It's just a very simple custodial, fully white labeled, attached to your phone number or your email.
Can you talk a little bit about, you know, the loyalty programs are kind of this, you know, it's been around forever. It's been something that a lot of brands will, you know, want to attach to what they do. At the same time, it's something that, you know, we can all think of just a couple loyalty programs that really work. And so I'm curious first how you think about, you know, that, and then second, for your customers, how they evaluate the success of integrations with you and your company.
So for us, it's very easy because we have data behind every touch point, right? For NFT NYC, we have heat map analysis for every different QR code. We know how many people scanned. We know how many people converted. If we add like any paid initiative to the end, we'll know the full funnel, we'll know the full bottleneck, and we convert 25 to 45% of scanners. So that's really, really high, and especially if you think of loyalty where you're maybe at 1-2% right now. And so the tech speaks for itself. Obviously, there is that moat that we need to cross of people being scared of being in Web3. We have one of our clients that, you know, we're co-invested, and the CEO is just terrified of anything Web3. So she's like, you got to explain to her how this isn't an NFT, like how this isn't going to be like scamming people. And so it's data attached to information. And that's why we have projects like the scavenger hunt, which is called the Crypto Bros. And it's an informational Web3 scavenger hunt that is hiding the tech.
I see. And maybe related to that, you know, loyalty programs, especially in the context of like, you know, airlines kind of being the most famous version, you have this long running kind of, you know, relationship, you know, underneath it. And it seems like some of your initial activations have been a little bit more like kind of one-off, you know, sort of tests and that kind of thing. Talk a little bit about how you move from these one-off experiments into something that feels much more like a longer running relationship.
Perfect. And that's exactly why we have the points, things, and places. Points being key here because you're building long-term value, right? You're attaching yourself forever to your client demographic. So one of the things that we get all the time for the big soccer teams, the NBA teams, et cetera, is can we apply single login? Can this be a self-contained experience within our application? And we're like, of course, that's super simple for us. That's how we built the first version of the platform, was a demand for an NBA team to be an in-app experience. But on the other hand, even though we are on chain, our dashboard and the amount of information that we give on the back end to the team, it's really hard to come off of it because you're already building your entire pipeline. And the other point is we're implementing single login for every single alpha solution, meaning that very soon we'll be able to pair points from one loyalty program to another and make super simple crossover, which can only be done on chain.
And then maybe one last more, and I'll hand it over. You know, it's one of the places where loyalty products seem to aggregate is in parallel with point of sale. And so, 100%. You know, with obviously, you know, Square and Toast and, you know, all these. How do you think about it? You know, just talk a little bit about defensibility, and if the product is successful, how do you keep a Toast or a Square from simply adding that on to their point of sale? Well, what if they don't want to integrate?
Yeah, if they, you know, that's an option. But we have several APIs out there. It's one line of code. Most of the points of sale that we've talked to do want to integrate, especially because it's just an on-chain deployment. It can still live within their ecosystem. It's a plus, not a competitive product. And at the same time, think of POS, right? How many years did it take the POS market to consolidate? 30? We're going through the same thing in Web3 now, right? We're building technological backbones that are going to be connecting the world's systems. Everything is going to be on chain in the next 3 years, maybe. And so to be able to, have APIs and open source tools in order to kind of like be at the crux of that will have a lot of value down the line. And we're not just thinking of, what we're putting on the market right now. We've been in this world for almost 10 years. So we understand kind of like where we're going. And we're thinking already of soulbound tokens. We're thinking of different ways that, will make the moats very clear.
All right. Thank you, Manu. Very nice. Hand that off to this guy right here. All right. We're a little past the halfway point, and this next